Time for a family fun movie night. It's been a long week. Your wife is threatening divorce. Your kid says he hates your cooking. And the 2008 recession is weighing heavy on your mind. What better time to pop in a nice movie for some family bonding? You can't wait to watch Batman end up victorious. And Danny DeVito is playing the Penguin. This is great. Wait, did he just eat that man's nose? Okay, maybe a different movie. This animation looks good. Ah, Bunny's having a little tussle. Oh my god! Hello everybody. Today we'll be talking about terrifying scenes in movies that aren't in the horror genre. While there may be some crime and thriller in here, there's nothing in the horror genre. And of course, these are my opinions. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. And if you think I left any movie out, let me know. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, it's good to see you again. Alright. Batman Returns. Batman Returns is an action sci-fi and was a sequel to Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. Tim Burton's Batman movies were focused on the dark and gothic side of Batman and Gotham City, and in my opinion they did so perfectly. Although in Batman Returns, the darker elements seen in the first film were ramped up. So much so that the film would receive massive backlash for the violence, depressing themes, and Catwoman. Oh, sorry, way too horny. With many parents and children getting upset by the movie.
It was very violent. It was a total attack against kids, the whole movie. Everything that kids love was being used against them.
Like what?
Clowns. Even the Penguin had a ducky boat.
It also didn't help that the movie was highly advertised to kids, especially through McDonald's. In fact, this whole situation involved a beef between Tim Burton and McDonald's, which led to McDonald's distancing themselves from Batman Returns, after already advertising the dark movie. The dark elements in this non-horror movie include things like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman being thrown out a window. And then the guy who threw her out, Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken,
Foo Fighters,
getting electrocuted to death. But what always terrified me as a kid was Danny DeVito's Penguin. Not only is the character's looks off-putting, but Danny DeVito matches the look with his acting skills. Two scenes come to mind, the first being when Penguin bites the dude's nose off.
Your nose could be... What do you mean by that?
But particularly, the Penguin's death. He enters like the Undertaker.
A cold drink of ice water.
The music, the gurgles, the black blood, and the attempt at words before he's finally done. I think Danny DeVito's performance was amazing, but somehow he was nominated for a Razzie. A Razzie is pretty much the opposite of an Oscar. You don't want to get these. I don't understand why, but maybe the Razzie nominators were scared of the Penguin just like I was as a kid. The Dark Crystal. The Dark Crystal is a fantasy directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, and is notable for its use of animatronics and puppetry. A quick synopsis of the film is on a mystic planet, two different races coexist. There are the Skeksis, which are these huge nasty lizard turkey things, and they control everything. These are our antagonists. The other race are peaceful wizards known as mystics, and there's one little guffling left in the world, and that's our protagonist named Jin, who sets out to save the world from the Dark Crystal, in which the Skeksis use to hold power. The movie was advertised towards children and their families, and in a lot of family-friendly movies, and movies in general, you need a great villain, and you need to set them up to where the audience doesn't like them, whether it's through actions or words. This is how the Dark Crystal shows the Skeksis mean business.
Of your fears, your thoughts.
Yeah, so our friend just got Raiders of the Lost Ark. This movie's PG, by the way, and so was Indiana Jones, The Raiders of the Lost Ark. In that movie, someone literally has their face melted off. I remember watching that way too young as well. The design of the Skeksis is by far some of the creepiest puppetry I've ever seen, and that's not to dismiss the uncanny valley characteristics of our main character. But the thing about the Skeksis, besides their weird, creepy, kinda funny noises, is the way they die. The director Jim Henson felt that children liked being scared, and that was a healthy emotion for them to deal with. Personally, I couldn't agree more. I used to watch 80s and 90s horror slashers when I was a little kid until I was terrified.
You stupid bitch!
I'd have trouble going to sleep at night, and then when I wasn't scared anymore, I'd continue to watch things that scared me. If I had watched this movie as a kid, I'm sure I would have loved it. And it probably would have been better than Chucky back in the day. But I've turned out okay, just talking to a camera in my room. Perfectly okay. No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men is a crime thriller and was directed by the Coen brothers. This movie is a bit different from the others on this list, as this was R-rated and not so much aimed at families. Although that would be pretty funny.
Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo doo.
This movie was meant to thrill you, although I want to focus on the terrifying performance by Javier Bardem. The movie's plot follows a hunter, played by Josh Brolin, who stumbles across $2 million and a drug deal gone wrong. Brolin's character takes the money, and rather than notify the police, he runs away, which leads to a psychopath, played by Javier Bardem, following him, which leaves a path of murder and destruction for the police to find. This includes the sheriff, played by Tommy Lee Jones. Now this movie's amazing. It can feel slow at times, but if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. Javier Bardem's character, Anton Chigurh, was intentionally horrifying, so I'm technically breaking my own rules here, but then again, I don't like authority, and that means breaking rules. Anyway, the execution was flawless, and I mean flawless. It created one of the most realistic psychopaths in movies. Don't just take my word for it. Psychiatrists studied more than 400 films to find the most realistic psychopath, and the general consensus was that Anton Chigurh was the most classic and realistic representation of a psychopath.
Give me that.
With the ability to take human life with a sense of normalcy, or as if it's just another Tuesday. Now, I'm delusional. I put myself into movies. I don't think I could survive an everyday encounter with Anton. Unless, like, I run really, really fast, and he doesn't have the shotgun at this point. But let me know if you think you could get away with your life.
You don't have to do this.
People always say the same thing.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is a fantasy adventure film, and is the third installment in the Harry Potter movie series. And it's notable for its darker tone compared to the first two. The movie follows Harry and his best buddy pals as they embark on another school year. But uh-oh, there's a spooky criminal out on the loose who is hell-bent on killing Harry. I bet you can't guess the name of the prison the criminal broke out of. And on top of a crazy criminal, El Diablo pops up. Oh, sorry, Dementors show up. Which is where we find our first scene of horror within the family-friendly movie. Yeah, so these floating cloaks, very reminiscent of the Grim Reaper, just start sucking Harry's life out. Wait, no. Just sucks the life out of Harry? No, that's still weird. Anyway, thankfully they're saved by the suave Huckleberry, who steps in to save the day. Surely he's a well-rounded individual. Yeah, so we dipped a little bit into An American Werewolf in London with that transformation. Any transformation scene where you can hear a harrowing scream and bones or tendons just creaking is a good scene to me. Did I think this back when I was a little kid? No. Especially after how much I loved the first one and how magical and happy everything seemed to be. Besides that one dude who wanted to kill everyone. Besides that. Granted, the second movie does have a darker tone. I don't know how Prisoner of Azkaban compares to Goblet of Children getting killed left and right.
That's my son! That's my boy!
Yet I do know that these two scenes stuck in my head for years to come. Did this or any other of the Harry Potter movies scare you? Watership Down. Watership Down is an animated adventure drama, directed by Martin Rosen, and follows the novel. The story follows a rabbit named Fiver, who persuades 7 other rabbits to leave their home in search of something new. On their journey, they have to endure the harsh realities of nature, and even when they get to their destination, Watership Down, they still have just as much, if not more obstacles ahead of them. This film has all sorts of symbolism that a viewer can pick up on, but that's not what we're looking at today. So you may be asking, where does the horror come in? Well, these animals, usually cute little bunnies, get their fucking teeth kicked in, like constantly. And when deaths occur, it's not like Bambi where it's 1 second she's running right next to you and then next she's gunned down in an alley, but it's off screen. No, they show it to you in Watership Down. Watership Down is rated U, which means it's suitable for everyone. This led to constant complaints, so 44 years later, it was rated PG.
No, stop. Think of the children.
Let me know if you think that was smart. One funny thing about Watership Down is that it apparently aired on Easter Sunday for some viewers. So some children with their little Easter candy pooped out by the Easter Bunny
Easter Bunny, I found 9 Easter eggs and a chocolate one.
I didn't hide any chocolate eggs.
would turn on the TV and watch the Easter Bunny's family kill each other. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One is an action sci-fi film and was completely unrelated to all the Skywalker stories. The story follows a group of resistance fighters. By the way, I just lied. We do have to deal with a Skywalker, but it's pretty cool. Darth Vader would show up at the end of the movie, after the dust had settled, and his presence was short but horrifying. This scene completely shifts the tone of a hopeful battle against a formidable opponent, to knowing that you're about to be bent like a pretzel. This scene builds up tension great with its sound editing, only to show off Vader like he's some sort of slasher villain. It also links the movies more thoroughly, but I don't care about that. What I do care for is how easy it would be for Disney to make a horror movie using the Star Wars property. And look, I know the mouse wouldn't allow that, but he did allow Deadpool, so fingers crossed. But think about it, if we just had a movie with Darth Vader being this brutal the whole movie, that'd be terrifying. And if they don't want to stick with anything that's already been built up, you can go with other canon things or non-canon things. There's so much out there. Do you think Star Wars and horror would merge well? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you're new and still here, why not subscribe? Alright, I'm going to talk about Ghost next video. Bye.